BBC Minute.
Get it off your chest. It's the Nightcap Conversations with Lula Odiba.
That's right, and tonight's conversation is about holding men accountable in the fight against GBV. So 2 weeks ago, Police Minister Benetele released the recent South African crime statistics, which revealed that between July and September of 2021, close to 10,000 rape cases were reported in South Africa, with the majority of the victims violated in their homes by perpetrators they knew and trusted. Now, while this was lockdown levels 4, 3, and 2, 1,383 of the reported cases were linked to alcohol and drugs, with the police stations with the most reported cases in GP being Temba Police Station in Sunnyside, Pretoria. So today marks the day 6 of the 16 days of activism for No Violence Against Women and Children campaign. But it always seems as though the GBV conversations are always targeted at women. Women must be vigilant, or women should know how to identify red flags. Yet very few campaigns, webinars, or conversations are directed at men who are the actual perpetrators of these crimes. South African men are perceived to be the most dangerous men in the world based on, the country's GBV ranking. We are the GBV capital of the world. Now, this essentially means that we are breeding rapists, women killers, and women beaters in our homes, in our school playgrounds, and yet we have made GBV a woman's issue. Tonight, though, we want to switch gears and talk to men about their role in GBV, which is the second biggest killer of women in South Africa after AIDS. What are we doing as a society that is creating boys and men who kill and rape women? What conversations are men having while enjoying Hennessy and Habli at the club, or over push-ups at the gym, at a braai, or smoking area at offices that addresses the toxic masculinity that has underlined why a woman is a victim every 15 seconds in South Africa? How do we hold men accountable when the state fails victims? Why are our men so dangerous? Drop us a comment or question via voice note on the YFM app, or call us up on 011-772-0992. So our first guest this evening may be a familiar figure to you after he won 2019 season of Survivor South Africa, but he has recently joined forces with the newly reigning Zulu King, His Royal Highness King Misizulu Zwelithini, to launch an anti-GBV app. Robert Benetele, welcome to the Nightcap, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Beautiful introduction.
How are you doing this evening?
Very well, and yourself. Just a little sweet surprised, but very well.
Yeah. So, growing up, what were some of the conversations you and your peers had about girls or women and how to treat them?
The funny thing is, is that I've experienced both sides of the spectrum. I've grown up in Makaya, in the heart of Zulu land, and those conversations are very different to the conversations you have in urban areas, and especially if you're looking at out the country. I'm half Austrian, so in first world countries, those conversations are also very different. I've experienced both sides.
Mm. So, look, toxic masculinity is a huge contributor to GBV. Now, in your view, what are some of the problematic ideas that men or boys have that encourage abusive behavior towards women?
And most definitely, this actually goes on for me to elaborate on these kind of conversations. And the horrible thing is that in South Africa, especially from a young age, boys are already taught to objectify women in the sense of they perceive them as an object, not a person, an object to get what you want from, an object to submit to you, an object for you to use and even abuse. And that is the problem. It all stems from those exact conversations you're talking about. And they differ, unfortunately, geographically. South Africa, as a large, it's almost perceived cool amongst the groups when they sit about guys and they discuss women and discuss girlfriends and loyal. I got this from him, and it really does stem from that, and unfortunately, it even comes from a very young age. And I've had first-hand experience with this. I've heard it myself, my own ears. So I really do understand it does stem from a young age.
So South African men are known to be the most dangerous in the entire world. It's a very scary thing to say even out loud. But as a South African man yourself, when you hear this, how does it make you feel?
Obviously, highly ashamed, and we can't fight it. We must take onus of it. We must say yes, it is true, and we must actually stop entertaining such conversations. We must not congratulate men when they say all these horrible things, amongst men themselves, because these I won't even call them men, these animals only respect the opinion of another man. So when other men are telling them, no, this is not right, you don't do that, that is where we already start making a change. YFM himself, my king, said that it's a cultural curse, that if we do not stop it right here and right now, it will continue to the next generation. So already the young generation must learn, and it just takes a few to stand up against them, and they will see that this is a thing of the past. This objectifying women, abusing women, and degrading, talking horribly about women is a thing of the past. And in fact, they should be highly ashamed, to be really honest with you. Highly ashamed.
So, Robert, it seems as though all of us know a GBV victim, but very few of us know a GBV perpetrator, right? Are we hiding and protecting perpetrators in our families and friendship groups? And if that's the case, how do we correct that?
A very good question, and I mean, I'm really loving how you're going with this. And I've done quite a few interviews this time, but you really are getting to the root of it. And so I just want to commend you on that. Thank you very much. And with results, when it comes to perpetrators themselves, number one, the fact that they do it in the first place means they are cowards. They're not man enough to actually own up to it. They are definitely not going to come out on their own accord. So I think protecting such nonsense in the first place is unacceptable. You should actually feel like you're a perpetrator yourself, because allowing it to continue is only creating more and more victims to the problem. Every time a person gets away with it, they learn that, hey, I can get away with it, which means they will continue doing this. And I'm going to bring up a horrible story right now. A few weeks back, I'm sure you're aware of this, a 16-year-old girl had been repeatedly raped by a 60-year-old father. And he specifically told her, don't even bother reporting me because no one will believe you. And she was brave enough, and she had the foresight to actually go and record the entire incident. And she sent the video to her brother. He's very fortunate he's in jail right now. But imagine if she did not have that evidence. It would still be a thing of the past. So these people are way too confident, and which is why it's continuing, because there are also people who are equally as guilty by just protecting them. So this is where we need to also stand up and say, no.
I agree.
Expose it all.
Yeah.
Expose it.
And what are your thoughts on ex-offenders of GBV coming out and, taking a public stand of accountability? In your view, is that enough?
Unfortunately, I don't think we there yet with culture. I don't see a single ex-offender voluntarily or willingly coming out and saying, I have done this. It would literally take the Lord himself, Spirit, to actually get them to change and come out and say, I've done this, I'm sorry, and I'm going to make amends for this for the rest of my life. It would take the Holy Spirit itself to do that. So I'm unfortunately not expecting anyone to do anything of that nature. But if they did, I think that would be a beautiful step for us as a country. Definitely a step in the right direction.
So, Robert, I'm not too sure on how to pronounce this, but I want you to talk to us about eyerus. Is it called eyerus?
Correct, it's eyerus, yeah. E-Y-E.
I was right. So that's an app that's aimed at ending gender-based violence. How did that come about?
Okay, so definitely the roots and core of eyerus was created to primarily protect our vulnerable individuals, your women, your children, the LGBTQ plus community, people who at this stage, it's nothing short of a hate crime that's happening towards them. So that's what gave birth to eyerus. However, along the process, the team behind eyerus, it's not just myself, I have brilliant minds working with me. We realized that this is not just for gender-based violence. It has an array of applications that it can work for everyone, men included. And so it's honestly a safety app. However, it will really make a huge significant impact to the gender-based violence issue on its own. And it came about from all the horrible stuff we have to wake up to every single day, listening to atrocious news reports of women being found in suitcases, women being murdered in broad daylight. And just last week in Durban, a woman was found body parts in the gutter. On the side of the street, when they opened up the gutter, they found the rest of the body parts. I mean, this cannot continue. Government, private sector, everyone is doing what they can to help, and they raise awareness, which is great. I think it's phenomenal. But we decided let's create something tangible that is solid, that is a real, true solution to getting these numbers down. And that's what obviously we need to explain to you how eyerus works. It's the first of its kind in the world, and we're very proud of it.
I see. Now, Robert, I want you to speak to us about some of the research that has informed the development of this app.
So it actually began well over a year ago. I shared a post on my social media. It was a survey where we asked everyone, what is the problem? Because you can't fix a problem without finding out from the people themselves who are undergoing this problem. What is the problem? How do we fix it? Where are the key problem areas with this gender-based violence pandemic? And I was fortunate enough that I got 2,800 respondents, and 93% of them were female. And when you answer the survey, it obviously branches you into different sectors. So of the women, which was alarming how many women had actually been affected, who had personally been violated in one way or another, it led into a question which asked, why did you not report it to the police? And it was staggering what the answer was. 47% of them said it was the lack of evidence. I did not have evidence, which means they were afraid to report it because of the fear that no one would believe them. It's he say, she say. And that is the core of us realizing where the solution is. It is enabling them to capture that evidence in real time that cannot be destroyed, so that they have a strong leg to stand on in court. It's no longer an accusation. It is a fact. And that is how we came about eyerus.
And then how does eyerus, the actual app, how does it work?
So eyerus consists of 4 main states. It's green, amber, red, and blue. We're mimicking a traffic light, which everyone understands. Green is for safe. That means you're safe, everything is okay. However, if you push it to amber, which is done very discreetly, you can simply shake your phone to get into amber mode. What it does is it switches on your microphone and starts live streaming that evidence to a secure cloud, which means the second it happens, it has already left your phone. There's no taking anything back, which means if someone says something wrong to you, someone does something wrong to you, it will be at the very least captured in a secure cloud, and you've got that person. Now you have a strong leg to stand on when you go to court. This is ideal for when the Uber driver starts talking to you, finding you getting nervous. It's not alarming anyone just yet, but it's at the very least capturing all the evidence. This is also for, unfortunately, 6 women are murdered every single day. 57% of those perpetrators are their own intimate partners. So you can't necessarily expect a woman to hold a camera up to her husband of 6 years who's been beating her. However, at the very least, when she sees him get back home and he's intoxicated and he's starting, she can see where this is going. She can shake that phone and have the audio evidence of everything that happened to her. That is just amber mode. If you escalate it and you escalate the danger, you push it to red. Now, it doesn't just audio stream the evidence, it video streams everything. As again, the second it happens, it has already left the phone. The evidence is not localized to your cell phone, which is what the problem is right now. If you film someone or audio record someone doing anything wrong, they know they just have to take the phone and destroy it. End of evidence. Done. However, it's localized, it's really left the phone. So the best thing a person can do at that moment, if they realize they are being filmed, is just stop. But that doesn't just stream the evidence to the cloud. It also automatically alerts your pre-assigned guardians. You choose who you want to be there for you when you're in trouble. It can be your family, your father, your brother, your mother, anyone in your circle you trust. They will be able to view this footage in real time as if they were in the room with you. It even shows them your location at the click of one button. Currently, there's no way on earth you can do that right now. You have a lot of public figures who are actually going on Instagram Live, for example, and they live stream whatever dangerous situations and even them being abused. We've seen it happen in the past. It's happening all the time because they're trying to get witnesses, because they realize that this person is just going to deny what they're doing later on, and then that's the end of that. And it creates a way for you to capture evidence, and it's irrefutable. It's raw evidence. So that is supposed to be a deterrent. That any person in their right minds would stop what they're doing at that point. However, if that doesn't happen, that's where Blue steps in. Blue now continues the live stream to your guardians and the cloud, but it also now alerts private security. Private security, we've got 3,600 on the ground all around South Africa, concentrated in all major urban areas, and average response time 5 to 8 minutes. It's the Uber of private security. There's no more phoning to say you're in trouble. eyerus automatically knows where you are and finds the nearest respondent and sends them your location. They are en route the moment you press that button. That is how fast the system is. And at the same time, it's still capturing that evidence. Those crucial moments before they arrive and de-escalate the situation, it's capturing evidence. Someone could even kill you, unfortunately, and eyerus will speak for you beyond the grave. It will see your final moments and speak for you beyond the grave in the court of law. Whatever you do in front of eyerus, people must just know from now that it will be seen in the courts of law if it's a crime. End of story. And that's what eyerus has done for us.
And how does one get a hold of this app?
It will be available to download on the 3rd of February. It is available. It's on my phone. It actually leaked a bit it leaked earlier today. We found out that the app developers mistakenly made it visible in the App Store. So it is there. We are releasing it to 1,000 people on the 2nd of December, and that will be our biggest test sample so far to date. It will be women who actually need the app, but it will be rigorous testing between now and the 3rd of February. So it will be free to download on the 3rd of February. And price-wise, eyerus is free, modes green, amber, and red. However, as you can imagine, blue is a premium feature because it's quite a price for us to dispatch private security to your location. So that does come as a premium premium price. It's 30 Rand for an individual, but if you want to cover your whole family of 8, it's down to 50 Rand. We are also in extensive talks with all the networks to zero rate eyerus. They're very happy to do that because this is not a luxury. It's not entertainment, but it's your basic human right of security. So they are ensuring that it will be available to you for free, data free. So if you've got data airtime, it will work on your phone.
And what is the link between the app and His Royal Highness King Misizulu Zwelithini?
A very good question as well. As a proud Zulu, I was raised and I was taught that if you're going to do anything of significance in your life, you first go to Inkosi yakho, ubayete, and you ask for permission, and you hope and pray that you get his blessing. And I was fortunate enough that I met a smart king who's technologically, innovative. He understands this new world we're living in. He's well educated, and when he heard the technology, he was so proud of what his people have done. My team we are all proud Zulus. We're from the heart of Zululand, and for him to he was so happy that we have done this, and it came from his land. The solution that will go not just national but potentially international, because this kind of world has come from his people. So that is why he endorsed us, and I'm really grateful about that. It really has helped a lot.
Beautiful. Robert, I just want to thank you for this initiative. I wish all the men in this country were just like yourself. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that now we have to download apps to feel a sense of security. But, at least it's a step in the right direction. Yeah. Thank you once again for your time.
Nothing but a pleasure. And thank you so much for having me. I look forward to talking to you when we go live.
Yeah, we're going to do this face-to-face soon.
Most definitely, I love that.
So we're speaking about holding men accountable in the fight against GBV in tonight's Nightcap Conversation. Now, we've just heard from Rob Benetele, who's leading an anti-GBV app. Make sure you share your story via voice note on the YFM app or call us up on 011-772-0992.